Story mode was a really important and expansive component part of the original Tenkaichi games. Now with Sparking Zero releasing sometime in the next couple of years, what could we see and how big will this story mode get? Alright, what is up? This is SLOplays, and I am back at it again with some more Dragon Ball Sparking Zero news and information here on the channel with some speculation. So keep in mind when I do these videos, we talk about the info that was presented to us, and then we'll do speculation kind of in the later half of the video. So first and foremost, we got to cover the story mode info that we did get a couple of days ago via that, not even a leak, just more of a discussion / interview that took place. I think it was at Battle Hour. Again, I'm still not exactly sure about it, but shout outs to Lawn SSJ, again, as always, on Twitter for presenting the information that was actually taking place from, I believe it was a couple of other users here, Sophie and Lay Geek and Yakai's, okay? I've been bringing them up several times in these previous videos again because there's just so much information to unpack in it, and I wanted to kind of focus on each category / section, or I guess the bullet point on here, that they discussed. So shout outs to Shonen Games for having the translations, because what he did bring up with the interview or whatever with the producers, okay, it was supposed to be with Jun Furutani, who is the specific main core producer of just Sparking Zero. And then we had another producer, Ryo Mito. He is the general overall producer of a lot of the Dragon Ball games. He's worked on a lot of the previous Tenkaichi games, okay? So just know that it's good to know that these guys, had some info to give at that time whenever they were having a discussion. So in this, they brought up the topic of story. And what the producers did say was a complete story mode will be present, following and evolving from Tenkaichi 3. Now, they did confirm at Battle Hour via the Q&A that Tenkaichi 3 was the predecessor to Sparking Zero. So Sparking Zero is officially a direct sequel to Tenkaichi 3, okay? It is the current final iteration in the Tenkaichi series, okay? This isn't like Raging Blast where it kind of got separated and did its own thing. Even though it had main core kind of the similar gameplay and even models and things, it was by the same developers, okay? Raging Blast, in a sense, was I would say it's like a brother or a cousin to the Tenkaichi series, right? Okay, so those games, they're not actual sequels. They're not direct sequels. This one is meant to be that, okay? That's what they're going for. So if it's a direct sequel and it's following and evolving from Tenkaichi 3, okay, and they're even saying a complete story mode, I don't want to jump the gun and confirm anything, but that's leaving me to believe, that's leading into the idea that everything that was in Tenkaichi 3 for the story will be returning and more, okay, and more, right? Again, I can't say, I don't know how they're going to do this, because remember, they also said in the same interview and everything, characters from Dragon Ball GT will be included, but possibly it could be either base or DLC, okay? So if some characters are going to be DLC, it would be weird for them to be in the story mode, but then you would have to pay for them later. Now, that's not the first time that something like that has happened, okay? That's actually happened before. A good example is Demon Slayer, Hinokami Chronicles. It had characters that were in the base, in the story mode, but they ended up being DLC later. Now, here's the thing. It was free DLC. It was a free update that they did later on. I guess they didn't have it prepared and ready for it to be playable yet. Maybe they didn't know how to handle it, because certain demon characters were different. They're different, okay? Because, Hinokami Chronicles, you have it on a team, and then, the DLC characters that were demons, they were on their own, okay? You couldn't really put them on a team or whatever. So I'm wondering if that's what they might do, which I'd be okay with, okay? If they just need more time to kind of, get these characters ready and they want to take their time with it, but they still want to release the game, hopefully that's not the case, because it would just be kind of weird, right? You have everything in the game present. Kakarot, for example, we did get it as DLC fusion characters, okay? Gotenks and Vegito were considered DLC, but it was a free update, okay? We didn't have to pay for it, all right? So that's what I imagine that they would do. If they have it in the story, okay? For example, GT characters, okay? They have a GT story with Omega Shenron and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. but they don't have it ready for it to be playable, and they need more time, but they already released the game, okay? You know, stuff like that, shit like that happens. I hope that's not the case, and I hope they just, you know, have everything ready at base, but that could be a possibility. But maybe we don't have to pay for it, right? Free DLC is always, you know, a thing if they have it ready for the base, okay? It just all depends, okay? Because they even said right here, there's no precise release date at this moment. The team is working on the game and wants to avoid rushing to release an incomplete game. So they really do want to take their time. They're not like some of these devs that are just like, I dare I say Curse Clash. Not saying that Curse Clash was rushed, but I mean, it felt that way. I really don't know. It just feels like it was like they were just trying to get the game out. They were just like, you know, the things on it were very lazy. Not saying the game's bad or anything, but you know, you can see from how community has reacted to that game, okay? So if it's going to have a full story mode, complete with everything from Tenkaichi 3, that'd be fantastic, because we already kind of have, I don't want to say confirmation, but I think it's safe to say we know what's going to be in it, okay? Z and Super is going to be major. That's confirmed that we're going to be getting story from that, right? They already showed all of Goku and Vegeta's forms, everything from the beginning of Z all the way to the end of Super and more. Even, I would dare I say, even Broly movie stuff, because Super Saiyan God, Goku and Vegeta, they have all the stuff that's based on the Broly movie. Goku's Gravity Bash, Godbind, his animations, even his gi that he's wearing, Vegeta, the transformation that he does from Super Saiyan to God or whatever is exactly straight from the Broly movie. Same thing with Goku's God to Blue or whatever. So we have the Saiyan Saga right here on the first panel. Okay, second panel, also part of the Saiyan Saga, you know, Goku versus Grade 8 Vegeta, Kaioken or whatever for Goku. Then we have this one right here, which is Frieza Saga, and I guess beginning of Android Saga with Vegeta. Okay, then we have kind of the near the end of the Android Saga with Super Vegeta. Then we obviously will have Buu Saga, the fight where they did, you know, Super Saiyan 2 Goku versus Vegeta. We have Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Some people brought up the idea of maybe a what-if story because they had Super Saiyan 3 Goku versus Majin Vegeta, okay, in this trailer. This is just the trailer, okay? So that's not teasing, I don't think, at story. That's just probably maybe a special interaction that they'll have, right? Again, God Goku versus Vegeta, and then Super Saiyan Blue Goku versus Vegeta, and at the very end, they talk about breaking their limits. We already talked about that, teasing Ultra Instinct and Super Saiyan Blue Evolved, which, I mean, that's Tournament of Power-based stuff. Nothing really to bring out the idea of the Universe 6 versus 7 tournament. Nothing on the Future Saga. Mainly Broly movie and, you know, Tournament of Power is what we're seeing from this. Obviously, they're just teasing that because, you know, those are the most popular things. I know Future Trunks Saga is very popular, but we still have nothing on Goku Black yet. No Zamasu. We do have Trunks, so I mean, we know it's gonna happen. I'm just saying it's not like, you know, they showed anything from this latest trailer yet, right? So how will story mode go in terms of cutscenes? Okay, will they have these crazy, beautiful animated cutscenes like a lot of these games have recently? For example, Xenoverse 2 has really cool cutscenes. They have these CGI pre-rendered cutscenes that they put in there, right? I would love that, right? If they did something, it doesn't have to be exactly like that, but you know, some extra cutscenes and everything, okay? Or will it be like Kakarot? Same thing, they have these CGI cutscenes, and they even have in-game engine cutscenes. I think it'll be like what we have right here, okay? It's just the in-game engine models that are, you know, animated to have iconic parts from the series, okay? The game on its own, like Sparking Zero on its own, looks really fucking good, okay? I don't care what you say, oh, the hair, or it looks ugly or whatever. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't, okay? That's fine if that's your opinion, but, you know, this is one of the best Dragon Ball games in terms of an appearance, okay? Fighters, if you want to say Fighters looks better, whatever. I do not care. Fighters is a completely different game. The way that they're animating things and what they can accomplish with Fighters being a 2D game that has 3D sort of camera, they're like, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. The way that Fighters is, don't expect that for a game like this, really. Like, this is as close as probably you're going to get. Obviously, the game is still being worked on. It's still very early in development. There are things that I don't want to say early in development because people get, oh, it was 5 years. They're still working on the game. They don't even have a fucking release date yet. So stop acting like the game is going to come out, like, tomorrow, right? They're still cleaning things up. Like, for the most part, they got the foundation and the basis ready, but it's not done yet, okay? So I'm not saying early in development, but, you know, it's still early in the promotional phases. That's what I should say. And they're not ready to reveal a release yet. Okay, so that means that they're going to touch it up. They're going to clean it up. They're still taking feedback and everything. Obviously with, you know, the hair of Super Saiyan that look like fucking bananas right now. So I definitely think it's going to look similar to this. You know what I'm saying? I doubt that. I think they could have an intro that is like CGI animated. That's, you know, bring that back. Maybe that'd be cool. I would prefer if they just had, you know, 2D animation or like some like 3D superhero style of animation. Like that'd be really cool. You know, I like these. You know, these are cool where they have like the cool, really, really epic CGI animation for an intro. But I doubt we'll get something like that in the story. I just feel like this is a lot more reasonable. Even though it's going to have a, you know, a really big story and everything, I don't think that they would just go crazy on animation for CGI. But they could. Okay, so let's go into Tenkaichi 3. Let's go over all the sagas that were present in that game, just to give you an idea of what we could see. So in Tenkaichi 3, it was called Dragon History. That was the story mode that they had, right? You know, you had Goku, you know, giving you a little bit of insight and everything. You could select the difficulty, which was cool too. They had a lot of different sagas. You had the entire Saiyan saga. They would even have these little interactions between characters that were, you know, in that saga. And if you bring it up, okay, it has pretty much all the main major quests that you could like, you know, actually accomplish and do and stuff. So, how many sagas do they have? Let's see. Okay, we had Saiyan Saga 1. Okay, Frieza Saga 2, Android Saga / Cell Saga is 3. We had the Buu Saga, which is 4. And I love that, like, it had stuff kind of like based on like the manga. Like that's kind of cool. The Special Saga, okay? Now that was TV specials / movies, right? What did they actually have? I'm curious to try to recall what they, you know, touched upon, okay? Look at Krillin. We had Bardock, okay. World's Strongest was in this. I'm pretty sure there was I think Garlic Jr. was in this as well. I feel like there was Garlic Jr. But yeah, they did everything, okay? We had Tree of Might, Lord Slug. Oh, there's the Garlic Jr., okay? It was, I guess they combined the movie / because Garlic Jr. also had a saga, like a filler saga arc in, you know, DBZ, which is cool. We had World's Strongest, Cooler's, I think is Cooler's Revenge, and then Return of Cooler. 13 movie, Broly movie. I think this is the, wait, what is it? Oh no, this is still part of the same one. So they had like multiple quests. We had Bojack. Yeah, they had everything, man. They really did have everything. I thought, for some reason, I recalled them doing like certain, maybe a couple of sagas or whatever, but no, they had it all, right? They had the, you know, Second Coming, okay, so they didn't do Bio Broly, which is hilarious, okay? So yeah, they really did go hard with the story. Now again, that possibly could be, the special saga stuff, that possibly could be DLC, maybe. Same thing with Dragon Ball GT, could possibly be GT, and same thing with Dragon Ball, OG Dragon Ball, that could potentially be DLC as well, okay? So I would say these three might be DLC. What if sagas, okay, we'll probably do a separate video on that, okay? But let me know down in the comments, what if stories do you want to see, okay? I know we've seen a lot of them, but I'm talking about mainly focus on Dragon Ball Super, okay? Some crazy Dragon Ball Super stuff, like what if, you know, Gohan went Beast and beat Golden Frieza's ass, right? Like, you know, shit like that, okay? And then, of course, staff credits. Very important story mode, right? So, yeah, I think it's safe to say that we'll get everything from Z, we'll get everything from Super, but then everything else might be a little bit weird. Now, will Broly movie and Superhero, will that be part of a special saga? That's hard to say. Or would they just all have it in Dragon Ball, like, you know how they have like Dragon Ball GT saga? Maybe they'll have a Dragon Ball Super saga. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let me know down in the comments your ideas, you know, concepts that you think might happen, just overall predictions, and I'll keep you guys updated. I got a lot cool other videos that maybe y'all want to see, so you can also comment down below what other ideas and stuff. But until then, have an amazing day. Peace out. Like, subscribe, ring my notification bell. Bye, guys.
This is Broly, and you are watching SLOplays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet.